What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another session of Bill Break and Fix,
Raw coders.
brought to you by Fantastic. So yeah, good to have everyone, and welcome, Tori. How do we feel? How do we feel today?
I feel pretty good, man. I was coding a lot today, which makes me happy.
That's brilliant, man. What were you coding?
I made the functionality for a bingo board, but also like I got to refactor the code, but I also made it like drag and drop by scratch.
Ah,
So you
interesting.
can move around the tiles. So basically, in the future, I'll use this in one of the projects I'm making so that a user can basically make a bingo board and then maybe add like of course like custom input and then I don't know, maybe pictures or something to
Right,
attach to
right.
the tile and then save it to the database.
That sounds really fascinating though. I'm really keen on seeing it up and running though, and do a bit of experiment with that as well.
It's not totally dissimilar to what we're kind of doing here with the Kanban board
Ah, right, I see.
because like I'm making a board that has pieces and then saving it to a database and then there will be multiple users. It's like basically the same thing.
Ah, okay, yeah, yeah, that makes sense though. That makes sense. And I think after that's done, because we will be implementing that functionality in this one as well at some point, we can basically um, have your expertise in the front end and boom, done in half an hour.
Well, I always think it's gonna take an hour or something, but I don't know. Usually it takes a bit longer. But each time I do stuff, it does get faster, I gotta say. It doesn't mean I'm better, just means I practice a lot.
Yeah, and practice makes perfect though. So well done for that. As in that's what it's about coding. As in the more you do it, the better you get at that.
For sure, for sure. Like
Yeah.
definitely.
Hmm. Perfect. So let's just acknowledge the country and our elders. So here goes. I begin today by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we gather today and pay my respects to the elders past, present, and future. I extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here today. Fantastic. So now that's done. So the agenda for actually, I'll do a bit of a recall. Tori, are you there? His internet's playing up again, I guess.
Hmm. Weird.
Yeah, you're back now. You're back.
Yeah.
Good.
I like refreshed the browser because it got stuck or something.
Ah, right. I see. Yeah, that makes sense. Perfect. Yeah. The good thing is that is back to normal now, which is great.
Hopefully, yeah. Or maybe my
Mhm.
Wi-Fi. I don't know if my Wi-Fi is being a bit buggy today. Hopefully not.
Yeah. Hopefully not. Plan for the best. No. Hope for the best. Plan for the worst.
Yep.
All right. Cool. So, just to recall what we did yesterday was we were successful enough to get the SSL cert and then point our app to our custom domain in Route 53, and now it is working. So I'll just share the screen with you guys, and we'll see how it's looking at the moment, which would be great. Scrambler. So
I
that
am
would
so
be,
excited you guys got that yesterday.
yeah, it
That is
was
awesome.
good, man. Yeah.
I really didn't want to do it, but I am excited to learn about what fixed it.
It was working. What? No, it was working yesterday.
Maybe it's the cache.
Oh, right, I see what's happening here now.
What happened?
Yeah. So if we do just scrambler.rocker.dev. Oh, okay. Never
Probably
mind.
maybe the cache in your browser or something,
Probably. Yeah, that
or
must
the
have
or
been.
the cache on CloudFront, and then like you expired it by visiting it. Maybe.
Probably. Yeah, that must have been the case. But the good part is that it's here now, so which is great. So yeah, this
Ooh.
is a ooh la la.
Nice. Great job,
Yeah.
guys.
Uh, I would give a huge shout out to DevCorp. That's a meetup for dev community, and they really helped us. And
Saved your butt.
also, yes, saved our bar, which was literally on fire. But yeah, also thanks to you, Tori, as in kind of posting the
I am
question
not
on
afraid.
there, and yeah.
I'll take whatever heat, whatever flack, whatever heat they throw at me. I'm cool, man. Whatever.
Yeah, true, man, true. No, man, well done, honestly.
No, I
So
thought there would be helpful people. Usually there are. So
yeah, yeah, as in they're really helpful. As in whenever personally I have a problem, as in when I'm really extremely stuck, which means that if I can't solve a problem for 5 days, then I'll I'll turn to them, which might be a bit of a bad habit because all the time that's wasted as well in those 5 days. But yeah, I'll have to improve on that. But yeah, man. What today's task is that we need to I'm gonna create a board and then send the URL to you, and then you're gonna access the board in index.html.
okay,
And then what we basically want to see that if you access it, do we still get your connection ID, as in which is different to mine?
cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
should be.
cool. Yeah, yeah, that's what I would say as well. But I'll just actually, I haven't shared my screen yet, so I'll do that now.
Can you if you understand what happened, do you have a second to take me through just like briefly how it was resolved?
Yeah, yeah, surely. That's what basically I was gonna do, uh, after logging in this AWS account because it's
Oh man,
still, yeah, but hopefully it will work now. Um,
what is your? You have a password manager there, yeah,
yeah.
and it's just the wrong save password. Oh, there it is now. All
That
right.
will be interesting if it's actually a wrong saved password.
So I mean,
It
sometimes I accidentally do that if I click stuff too fast.
must be that raw code. Is it raw coders or raw coder? No, it must be coders. Really? Why is it not? Um, Mm, no, that can't be the one. That can't be the one. Is this one? I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Password.
interesting.
Um, my thing was
Hmm.
322843. Hang on a minute. I'm gonna have to.
This makes me sad, Zane.
I'm gonna. No, no. Again, there. Again, there. Not to worry. And if this doesn't work, we always have your username, so you can open that on your end, and I will, in the meanwhile, have a look
Well,
what's.
what if you just go in the root account and reset your password or something?
Yeah, that's true as well. I was just being. I wanted to make this work, but yeah, we can do that as well. Gmail. It will be hilarious. This does the same thing, but
No, that
hopefully
won't
not.
be that won't be hilarious. That will not be hilarious if you lose the root.
Oh,
Yeah, can AWS do anything for you if you lose the root password? Or you can like you can actually have it send an email, right? Yeah, you can.
yeah.
With my password manager, if I lose access to my email for some reason and
Mm-hmm.
the password and I lose any of the backup to multi-factor keys,
Mm-hmm.
I'm done.
Ah, yeah. I see.
Actually, I don't think they'll send a password reset to my email. So if I lose the multi-factor keys and I forget the password for some reason, I'm screwed. Just
True.
then
No, hopefully
like
that does.
it would be an incredible nightmare because I would be locked out of everything because all of my passwords are random. Like every
Ah,
single password is random except for maybe one password.
right, right, right. I see. Yeah, that would cause you a bit of grief, though. Yeah, I'd agree
Well,
with
so
that.
far, like I've used it for probably 7 years, and I have not had that happen.
Hmm.
Fingers
I see.
crossed.
Exactly. Fingers crossed. Okay, this time what I'm gonna do actually is type in the password in the password manager and then doing that way. Um, can you possibly
Mhm.
mute your notifications?
Oh, you heard that?
Yeah.
Wow. Sure. Um,
Please, thank you. What was it? Yeah, that one it was. Serena.
that's odd. How do you hear that?
I heard it.
Yeah, that's weird though, because it came from my computer. Huh.
Yeah, but your speakers are on, isn't it?
No, no, because I'm using my headphones. I'm using a headset.
Headphones. Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Maybe it can't. It must have had a sound come from my phone then.
All right. Yeah,
I must have just not
possibly.
heard it, but you heard it.
Hmm. I'll go CCTV over there, Tori. I'm watching you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Please,
hopefully.
please,
So
please
let's
don't
check
watch me.
it. No.
Oh
All right,
wow.
there we go. Roll coders.
Okay. There was the first international flight to Bali, landed today from
Oh,
Narita, Tokyo. I'm guessing it was the Indonesian airline Garuda,
uh-huh.
and it carried
Right.
it carried 12 passengers, mostly people returning back to Indonesia from, I'm assuming, Japan or something. Wow.
Oh, I see.
It's
Wow.
been 2 years, no
Yes.
airport. And
Jeez.
it's crazy because usually here there's, I think in 2019, 20 million tourists came,
Mm-hmm.
and basically, a pathetic amount of tourism since they
Yeah.
shut down the airport.
Right, right, I see. That makes sense. All right,
That was
cool. So I would go through this review now. So can you see? You can't see my screen. Yeah, you can't see my screen. Now you can, isn't it? Can you see my screen?
I can. I can see it.
Brilliant. Right. So this is what we did basically. We. Oh, come on! Not available now. Go away. So we
It's not nice.
basically, huh?
I said that's not nice.
I'm busy, mate. I'm busy. As
Sorry
in,
to
they
interrupt
are
you.
like, as in some financial companies, as in trading companies asking me to invest with them.
Oh wow, you baller, dude.
Hmm?
You're baller. You're baller. They want you. They want you. They know you're flush with cash now.
And I wish, yeah, and everything goes in AWS now.
All right. Sorry
Right.
for the silly interruption.
That's all right, no problem at all. Yeah. So what we did was basically, this name,
Hmm.
domain name.
Hmm.
The idea was to create. Because okay, so because we already using, um, the certification in the other account.
Yep.
Um, the idea was to create a hosted zone of this subdomain itself. So
Okay.
not the domain, the subdomain.
Okay.
Okay. And when we have done that, it would come on.
What is a
So,
hosted zone?
huh?
What is a hosted zone? I don't know anything about networking.
Hosted zone is a zone in which you host domains.
It's
Actually, let's
self-explanatory. Gotcha.
find out.
I mean, we don't have to. I can learn on my own time. It's cool.
A hosted zone is an analogous or ghost or whatever to a traditional DNS zone file. It represents a collection of records that can be managed together. Ah,
Okay.
did you get it?
You watching?
I'm not watching.
You watching
What?
me?
Ah, okay.
What?
Right. So basically, I think we was trying to say that it's 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 the opposite to a traditional DNS zone file. So, ye- do you know how in the traditional zone file they keep all the domain names and then possibly point that to their domain provider or host provider? Do you
Mm,
know? I can't hear
The
you or see
records,
you.
the DNS records. I
Yes.
mean, yeah, I don't know. It's okay. Let's not. I'll just waste everybody's time. I'll just I'll just watch a video on networking and then
I
take
think
it
that
from
might be
there.
a good idea. Or um, I
I thought I would be able to grasp it, but I'm just grasping at straws, really.
or probably I need to work on my explanation skills a bit
Oh
more.
man,
I'm
you know how long
explaining terribly.
when I studied for my cert, Zane, do you know how many times I had to watch VPC, 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 and
That's 4 times, isn't
I
it?
probably more than that. I probably spent like
Yeah.
8 hours of watching videos on VPC and just the basics, let's
Wow.
say. And still, I'm like, I probably forgot it all. But I mean, there was a lot of things
No,
inside of
man.
VPC.
Yeah, yeah. It is complicated, especially if you don't have a networking background.
Not at all.
Yeah, which is same as mine as well. Hmm.
The only thing I've ever done is mess with a few website DNS records and host a server and
Ah, right.
mess with my local networking, like my router and my local area network. So that was my analogy when I was thinking about VPC, was like all the stuff I mess with at home with, like, I don't know, adding my computers and some hard drive to some local area network so that all the computers in my house could use it or something.
Wow, that is really adventurous. I really wanted to do that as well, but
Don't do it.
just not
It's not
finding time.
worthwhile. It's not worthwhile. It was so slow in the end. It was not worth it.
Oh,
It was very bad.
oh, okay.
Because
That's actually good to know.
I wanted, well, for files, it's probably fine. But for movies, which is what I wanted to do, it was
Mm-hmm.
terrible. It's terrible.
Wow, wow,
Yeah. Nope. All right.
cool.
Let's move on then. Sorry.
Right. So this was, say we created the hosted zone of our subdomain itself. Okay.
Hmm.
Uh, And we can go into the hosted zones some other time and learn that, because it will be a kind of a good learning for me too. As in, I know the overall concept, but it would be a good refresher.
So you had to create two hosted zones, one for the roarcoder.dev domain and then one for the subdomain, right?
And no, so this rawcoder.dev was already there.
Oh, it was already there. So you created a
Y-
separate one. But
yeah,
and then you also have this hosted zone. You have a different hosted zone on your personal account, right?
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. So
Dude,
on my personal, mhm.
sorry, I was just gonna ask, does the hosted zone you have here share any of the characteristics of the hosted zone you have on your own personal AWS account, or not at all?
Probably not. No, no,
Okay, interesting.
except this part here. No, and this
Just the
one
domain.
also, I could basically and delete that. And this, hopefully, I don't want to take any chances now at this point, but I will
No, you
try
can do that
to.
with Finesh.
True, true. Okay, cool. So yeah, so we created a separate hosted zone for our subdomain itself,
Cool.
and then you know how we've got a name server record here.
Hmm. That's something you get when you create a hosted zone, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And
So
then you had to
what?
add those to your domain provider?
No. So what we
Weird.
had to do is create a record of name server exactly the same as this, but in my personal account.
Oh, so another name server record
Yeah.
with these values in your
Yeah.
personal account
Yeah.
for that subdomain, or does
Yeah.
that not matter?
For this subdomain.
Oh, okay.
And then what we did after this was done, we generated a cert through AWS Certificate Manager, and then we were able to get the cert. So I'll just go in that one as well. ACM Certificate Manager.
It just all seems so simple now.
After how
But
many
to,
days? 3 days.
but to get there was so hard.
Hmm. True. So this for this domain. So what we did was, oh, why does it say pending? No, you can't. It's not allowed to say pending anymore.
What?
What?
What happened?
Oh, I think that was the server was done in my. No, it was done over here. Hang on a minute. I need to check my personal account because I've got a feeling that something I'm not understanding now, which is not good. Oh wow. Come on,
What
come
what
on.
happened? What's so wow? I should have
Awesome.
said, Zane, I'm so excited to work on the front end today. Let's go. I don't even want to know how this works.
It just works, so let
Yeah, it
it
works.
work.
Great. Let's go. It's like,
um. Oh, you know what might have happened? I was in the wrong region. Yeah, that must have been the issue.
okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
I
going to
was in
say,
the wrong
otherwise,
region.
this is like quantum mechanics where like you're observing it and it's changing the outcome.
I see. Right, right,
Trying to
right.
measure something and your instrumentation is messing up the measurement.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that'll be. Oh, I don't even want to say anything now to that. All right. Okay, so let's go back in there. Do I know the
You know what?
routine?
I've been on the stream for like, I don't know, maybe
Okay, here we go. Yeah.
three or
So, mhm.
days, and I haven't seen Gekdev. Is he still around?
Actually, I'm gonna text him. There is everything okay with him because yeah, it has actually been a while though.
Okay. Huh. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll message him too.
cool. So yeah, then we created the search for this domain and this one only because we wanted to allow www as well.
Cool. It's
You're
cool.
basically like, what the hell are you talking about? But yeah, fine, go on.
I mean, I can understand the wild card. I have no idea why it works in terms of
Okay,
like how this works across two accounts with all these different name server records and the DNS records. It's just bizarre to me, especially with the wildcard, because it just seems like it should overlap. Oh, but you have a specific scrumbler domain name. Okay.
Yes.
So I guess when the machine, whatever, the networking machine, like it has its rules. So basically, it can say if there's a specific subdomain, then it'll ignore the wildcard. If like somebody's trying to access that specific subdomain that you had, that's where I'm like, how does this work behind the scenes? I guess
Okay.
whatever.
So
It's just,
you know, okay, I'll explain you. Hang on a minute.
or we can code.
No, no, it's important that we
Oh, you
go
want to
through
punish
this.
me? Okay.
So you know how we have this URL at the moment,
Yep.
okay, and how we want this URL.
Yep.
So we will access this URL anyway, but if the user types in this one, we want it to go, we want it to redirect to this one, right?
Mhm.
So because we want HTTP, oh
Mhm.
come on, no, because come on, dude, because we want these both to work with HTTPS,
Yep.
okay, and for these both, we need SSL cert to work
Mhm.
with HTTPS, okay?
Mhm. Mhm.
Which is why if you forget this, oh, come on. If, so say we forget www, okay? And insert a star,
Yep.
yeah, okay? This means that anything we type in the front, as in my dos scrambler, our dos scrambler, www dos scrambler,
It'll be
live
redirected.
dos scrambler. Yeah. So wherever we type here, it will redirect to that one. The reason we need two certs is we have wired these both up individually.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Probably.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. So basically, for the most part, it's to handle the www dot case, and then
Yeah,
like
yeah.
nobody's gonna type in liver dot. I hope they're not.
No.
But yeah.
No.
Okay. That makes sense.
Okay, cool. So hence why we have star and the normal one as well. Okay. So if you go back to CloudFront, I'll show you another interesting bit that we had to do. So see how here it's got, see these two C
Hmm.
names?
So that's why I saw there's two C names. That makes sense.
Yes.
Okay.
So even if you type any, it would always go to that one.
Gotcha.
And then this is why we have a star dos dos scrambler, because if we type in scrambler, it will still go there, or even if you type in dot dot dot, it will still go there.
Okay, cool. That is
Does that
cool.
make sense now?
That does make sense. Yes.
Perfect. Yeah, understand if it's not making full sense because yeah, there are a lot of moving parts at the moment.
Yeah, and I mean, I've messed around with this stuff, but to be honest, I don't even have a lot of network experience.
Me
So
neither. Hmm.
well, yeah, it seems like you kind of know some stuff that I don't, but it would be nice at some point in like 10 years if I went and learned more about networking.
Yeah. That's that could happen, but the reason why I know just a little bit, as in one of my employments, I was say a kind of a computer science guy.
Gotcha.
As in, I had to know coding, networking, build infrastructure as well, as in
Okay.
everything.
I mean, you're a back end dev too, right? Is that primarily your work?
I would say full stack.
You're a full stack dev? Okay.
Hmm.
So,
So I like to do build everything.
I mean, but like when you're at work, do you primarily like have you primarily worked on the back end?
No, no,
Oh,
just
really? Just
anywhere.
anything?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So at the moment, I'm adding some UI functionality
Cool.
at work,
In JS?
and now in .NET.
.NET. Yeah.
Eh, yeah,
Cool.
ASP.NET.
Cool. What do you prefer? What do you prefer? You prefer JS or .NET?
I prefer coding. It can be any language.
You don't care? Okay.
No. No.
Interesting.
All right, cool. So now that that is done, what I'll basically do now is we will go into our DynamoDB, and I'm gonna delete all the connection IDs from there and see if we can see if our connection IDs work. No, what? Tables. Okay, tables. Yeah. WS connection ID, explore table, run. Okay, cool. So there's nothing here. I will
Send me the link.
create a board first. Yeah, RC testing. Okay, this is a bug. Okay, so is it gone there? Okay, one is there. So now what I'm gonna do is send you the link and you try and open that. Yeah.
What if
I've
I
s-
told you it gave me a 404?
I'll send you a line.
I wish I was. I got a
No.
404 not found code, no
Nah,
such key.
come on, Tori, don't do this.
I'm serious. Here, I'll share my screen.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not messing with you. Here.
You really have a 404?
Yeah.
I can't see your screen. Hang on.
Yeah. That's it.
No such key. The specified key does not exist. Can you zoom in a bit, please?
Oh, yeah, sure. Weird, huh?
Request RC
Is that
testing.
from CloudFront?
That's another issue. Okay, this is not gonna work in that way. And I'm sorry I spoke to you in in that way. Shouldn't
No,
have.
it's cool, man.
As in,
No, it's
I thought that
next.
you were
No, probably
telling about
you're
me.
right.
Yeah.
You're right because I like to play jokes.
Yeah.
um,
All right. Okay. So
yeah, so
this is
this works.
How about if you actually let me check DynamoDB and see if I've got anything else. No. How about if you create a
A
board
board,
on your end?
Tory board, Tory board, not Tory and board. Billy Scrumbler. Okay, Tory board.
And
It it
okay,
made
so
it.
yours has come through as well, which is fine. And if you send that URL to me, I'm gonna try on my end and see if I get the
All right.
same thing as yours.
What does this have? Connection secure. Blah, blah. Certificate is valid. Scrumbler. The star. Okay.
Okay, sorry, that one. Come on now.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, I'm having the same thing as well.
Hmm. It's
Okay, this is.
either
Mhm.
CloudFront or Route 53.
I don't think it's either, because
Really?
it's trying to find a file in the S3 bucket called the board name. Because if you see the error, it
Oh,
says
that's what I meant.
key do not
CloudFront or
found.
CloudFront or S3. Okay. So, what do you think the problem is? You seem like you know what the problem is.
I know why is the problem coming, because it's 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 understanding the board name as a file in itself, and then it's trying to find that file in the S3 bucket, but it's not able to, so it's saying, okay, I can't find it, I can't give it to you.
So, how is the board? So, I see. So, really, there's a problem with these redirects up here. Do you see the URL?
Hmm.
Right. So, this is your generic board page. But when
Hmm.
you do that Tory board or something, you're going to get a 404. So, I think there's just
Exactly.
some simple redirecting that needs to happen so that it actually redirects this index or the board name to the index.html or vice versa, or it updates the URL. Honestly, I work in a lot of single page applications, so I'm not as good at dealing with multi-page JavaScript because I'm like only know the new stuff. But
That's all right.
I'm sure it's pretty simple.
Yeah, it must be pretty simple, because yeah, you're right. All we basically need to do is do a redirection, because as in do a redirection in order to make it recognize that, yeah, we are still opening an index to
Hmm.
HTML, but it's with this session now.
Yeah, because all that, I mean, you land on this page and then all the data is pulled in from the database, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So it should be able to read the board name from the URL param or something like that, or the path, right?
true,
And then
true.
use that as the board name, but the page is the 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 HTML page that's actually used is this index.html,
Mm-hmm,
the
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
board.
Yeah.
Then where would you do that? Do you do that in? I think you can do that in S3, man. I think you can do that in S3.
Yeah.
I think so. Or like, where would you set up the redirects? I think you would set them up in S3, to be honest. But I don't have enough. I mean, I'm very comfortable with Netlify and not AWS. Um, but I think I've watched some stuff on those redirects, and I think you can do it in S3.
Mhm.
Well, that's where the static site is being served up, anyways, right? So I feel like that's the first place we should check to see if you can do the redirects on there.
Okay, so let's go into S3 then and check if we can do something from there.
You will definitely probably need to add some JavaScript code though to that page um, to grab the path name if you're not already. You know, so if it says Toryboard, it's gonna.
I'm just thinking as well at the moment.
Look at
Oh,
S3.
I'm
I feel like this
struggling.
shouldn't. It's just like one. Now you're like, let's go put it up on the internet.
No, I mean, the actual purpose of this is just to check, as in our WebSocket connection, which and the purpose has been accomplished. Um, what I might basically do is I might just, as in, allow certain users, as in, to access this bucket from the URL.
What do you mean?
You know
What
how we
URL
can
are you
reach.
talking about?
So scrumler.rocoder.dev. I might just because the purpose of this has been accomplished, as in what we wanted to test, but there's a problem.
Okay,
Yeah, so I'm thinking that I might just take it off a bit until we fix the problem, and then come back to, as in the internal testing.
gotcha.
Mm. Yeah. Right. Cool. So to be honest, I'm thinking how to approach this now.
Good old Google search. Um, S3 redirects. Static, static redirect rules. That sounds promising. Configuring a page redirect. That's what we're looking for. I'm sorry, I don't know why my internet is. It's either my computer is being choppy or my internet's being slow. It's weird. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Huh. It's probably my computer then.
So right.
Um, cool, perfect. Redirect requests from your bucket's website endpoint to another bucket or domain. Configure redirection rules, conditional redirects. Perfect. All right, redirect to website endpoint. Under buckets, choose properties. Under stack, website hosting, choose edit. So there
I
should be a
don't think we
redirect.
need that.
Well, if somebody goes to scrumbler.rocos.dev/Toryboard, well, there is no Toryboard.
Yeah.
So how are they going to get to the index.html? That's what the redirect should do. So basically, it's like with CloudFront and Route 53, like people were trying to go to a domain like the wildcard. So here you should be able to set up redirect rules so that basically based on the path, which is like Zane
So
board, Tory board,
if
it will
if
go
we
to
do it,
index.html.
if you're doing that in that way, how are we gonna save this session then? Because it's all based on the session, as in Tory boards, Zane board, another board.
Uh-huh. So um this is actually a good example, but like it should
Oh.
redirect and then um with the parameter, not the path name, the path name is Tory board or Zane board, right? Which is the
Yeah.
same as the board name inside of
Mm-hmm.
DynamoDB, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, when a user lands on that page, there should be some JavaScript that picks up that path name from the URL and
Mm-hmm.
then says, hey, this is the board name. I got it from the path name, and I'm going to go fetch the data from DynamoDB for this board. And then also at the same time, the WebSocket will also
Hang
connect.
on, why are we fetching the data?
Don't you need the board data?
That's not what we're trying to do at the moment.
Okay, well, maybe I'm thinking ahead, but if somebody had a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
cards that they already saved and then somebody joined the session,
Okay.
you would.
Okay. Maybe kind of. We want to step back a bit. So at the moment, what we're trying to do is only when you create a board and
Mm-hmm,
you send the URL to another person,
mm-hmm.
then that board opens on index.html. As in
Yes, so
exactly. Mhm.
yeah, so the only way to get that information is by sending a request to DynamoDB to say, do I have a board named Tory board or Zane board, whatever board I got from the URL, and then it will pull in that data.
I see what you mean there.
Or
Okay.
you could just take the, I mean, eventually that's the direction you want to go, right? Anyways, but in the beginning you could just take the path name from the URL and just put it in the board name. But I don't know how I mean, I could take a look at the code on the front end and figure out where the board name is coming from. I don't know if it's coming from DynamoDB or if it's coming from the URL.
Okay. This is a front end thing which you're really as in good at. So I'll leave it to you. We can go in the board. So you seems as in sounds like you know exactly what we can do to potentially solve this issue. Maybe because for some reason I'm kind of slacking, as in I'm
You're
not
good.
understanding why we're doing what we're doing. And maybe it's just a few dots I'm missing from my links. So if you can, as in, explain me that. That
Sure. So
and yeah.
here's this here's this basic example that they have, right?
Okay. Right.
So it's a redirect, um, and this is like a rename. Where's a routing one? Okay, let's see if they got some examples here that are just very straightforward. Oh wow, slow. What do they got here? This is not nice. All right. Well, uh, yeah. All right. Well, you can kind of imagine it this way. So here's a rule for like, I mean, honestly, this is a rule for a deleted folder to a page, but the same thing really applies. So let's say there is a URL. So when somebody tries to go to that URL on S3 looks at what the user is trying to go to, right? And instead of images, let's just say there's a board named images, right? And I don't know, maybe this key prefix thing is different. Maybe it's suffix or something. I don't know, right?
Okay.
Or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's
The
fine.
concept is the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna do a redirect, and you're gonna replace it with index.html or wherever you want to send them. And then hopefully too, and there should be a way where you can retain the the board name in the URL instead of the user seeing like, oh, index.html, instead of them seeing like index.html, they will see, the board name like you want them to. But they will actually be redirected to index.html.
I see. I see. So even though they're seeing the board name as a path, but they'll be directed to index to HTML, and then once we land on that page, we can just do the logic where we're telling it to get everything for that board name and bring it back to us.
Yeah, so then when the user lands on that index.html page, then
Yeah.
all you have to do is window.location.pathname,
Yeah.
and there you go, pretty much.
Right, right, right. Yeah, that makes sense though. Yeah, I think I understand you now.
So I think the magic, I don't know if with CloudFront, but I think the magic happens in S3. But because there's CloudFront, maybe there's something CloudFront has to do too. I'm not 100%
Right.
certain.
Yeah. Yeah, that would make absolute sense though. Yeah. Yeah, perfect. That sounds as in way. Yeah, it's a brand new concept, man. As
Me
in,
too.
I'm
Me
just
too.
ready.
Luckily, I watched a video from Front End Masters, and probably I briefly touched on redirects in
Mm-hmm.
the certifications, probably, and so I
Right,
kind
right.
of
I
like
see.
plucked that from my brain. The most common example of a redirect is a 404 page.
Yeah. Right, right. I
So
see.
you like,
It's-
or say you moved some pages, like you moved the URLs to something
Mhm. Yeah.
different, and then Google already indexed those pages, But and so when somebody clicks on it, you don't want to send them to a 404. You want to like redirect them to the new page.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. Yeah, I like that. I like that approach. Let's come back to that we've finished on. Actually, he's not gonna be making it tomorrow. He already told me. So if you wanna jump back
What a
on
bum.
with for me,
What a
you're more than welcome to. And yeah,
Dinesh. Dinesh, man.
yeah.
Come on.
All right, perfect, man. Yeah, so it's been a really good session, guys. We managed to, as in, kind of go through how we solve the generating of the SL serve for our custom domain, and also pointed the custom domain to our S3, and we also went through, as in, a kind of a recap. But now we're facing another challenge, which will be really exciting to solve, about redirection. So if you want to check out how we take on this challenge and forge forward, join us tomorrow, same time, same day, and
A different task.
that's the one. All right, guys, have a great
Thank you
night,
very
and
much,
we'll see you
everyone.
tomorrow. Ta ta ta
Have a
ta
great night.
ta.
Thank you.